The world responds to value. How do you make yourself valuable to employers like Google? So before jumping into how to get these interviews or how to pass these interviews, we first have to make ourselves desirable enough so that these recruiters would give us a chance to interview with them. We want them to be like, oh, this guy stands out, and we want to know more about them. So the way I see it, there are two ways you can take, and actually you kind of need both. One is having the skills, like having good enough skills to get the job. The other one is being able to market your skills. And in actuality, you kind of need both. You need the skills to perform on the job, but you also need the communication skills to convey your ideas to other team members, because you'll be working with other developers, the design team, your managers, your mentors, etc. But I'm just going to focus on more of the technical side because I'm not the best communicator. And actually part of why I'm making these videos is to work on my communication skills. But all I did was I put in a lot of work on side projects and just let my work speak for itself. Now, there are other people that are better speakers, and they're able to convince the recruiter that, hey, I'm actually someone you'd want to interview. Like a year ago, actually, yeah, just like almost a complete year ago, I took my friend and his girlfriend to the Yelp headquarters, and he was like an economics major at the time. He was really fascinated by the work I was doing and the culture of the company, so he actually decided a few months later or a few weeks later to switch to CS. And I helped him along the way and showed him kind of like what to do, but he also worked really hard. Then about a month ago, he started looking for an internship, and he's a fourth year now, so his skills were definitely not at the level of other fourth year computer science majors, especially at Berkeley, but he has this ability to just sell stuff. He used to be a salesman at Costco, and I guess that really helped him out. We went to the hackathon at Berkeley and we worked on the same project, and when we were presenting, we took turns presenting, and his presentations were a lot more interesting than mine, and I was really sad. Not really, but I was really amazed. He'd go like, bada bing, and you have a magic mirror. Yeah, so each path has its own merit, and in a sense you kind of need both. But again, this series, I'm just going to focus more on the technical side. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first way to show value is to become a tutor at your school. I'm not sure all schools have a tutor program, but at UCSD our tutor program is pretty comprehensive, and it's a really good way for students to get the help they need. So this is valuable to recruiters because being able to teach concepts to other students shows mastery over these concepts. And obviously when you're able to teach another student, you have to be patient and have the communication skills necessary, and of course that's valuable. As I mentioned earlier, you need both patience and communication in order to communicate with team members, managers, etc. So you can also make a lot of connections as a tutor. The other tutors are probably also like very hardworking and very smart, very driven. You obviously get connections to the professor, other TAs, and these TAs and professors and other students can introduce you to people at companies that they work for. Yeah, I know a tutor that's interning at Facebook and Pinterest, and another one that's interning at Google. Like, these tutors that are tutoring obviously were at the top of their class and are therefore also probably interning at the top companies. And these professors, they have students, their best students go to the best companies, right? So these professors would know. And actually, not so secret rumor is that certain professors hold events, little parties, exclusive parties, where these big companies go directly to recruit tutors. Not all professors do this, and I'm not a tutor, I'm actually not a tutor, so that's like the most I can say. But I think being a tutor definitely has its pros, and it's just giving back, you know. When I started out, there were a lot of tutors that helped me, so maybe in your position, a tutor helped you, and now you're in that position where you can help others, you might as well help them. Now, I applied, but I got rejected twice. Yeah, so that's life, I guess. But yeah, as a disclaimer, the topic of tutors is something I'm the least familiar with, so maybe I'll make a video interviewing a tutor, some of my tutor friends later on. They can give you more of the advantages and disadvantages of being a tutor. Okay, so on to the topic of side projects. So what are these big companies looking for? Well, they're looking for, on the technical side, someone that can navigate large code bases, understand them, and implement changes that doesn't mess up the existing code. They're looking for people who can write code, and not something that's just self-contained in a programming assignment, but work on code that actually goes into a product. So to show that you're capable of this, you just need to show them, oh hey, I worked at this other internship and I'm capable of working on large code bases, blah blah blah. But what if you don't have an internship? Like, what if you're starting out and you're looking for an internship, but all these companies are looking for people that already have experience? That's like the ultimate catch-22. So that's why you can first make an internship for yourself by doing a side project. So if you're at a job fair and you go to the job fair, you talk to a recruiter, and you don't have any work experience, then what do you talk about? If you just talk about school and your class and your work, I guess, how does that make you stand out from any of the other people at the job fair? The answer is side projects. If you don't have any work experience, don't talk that much about school. Make a side project and talk about your side project. By having a side project or multiple ones, you can show that you can make a product from scratch, show them you can create something, make design decisions, and go above and beyond. Because side projects are things you do on your own spare time, on your own free time, outside of school and classwork. So that dedication shows recruiters that, oh, hey, this guy's serious, and this guy or girl is serious, and if we hire this person, they'll do a good job. So what did I do? I first got lucky and got my first small internship through a friend who posted on a Facebook page, but I didn't feel like this internship was enough, so I actually worked on a C++ project, and just the C++ project and this internship was enough to get me internships with Google, Microsoft, and Yahoo my second year. After I got rejected, I decided I should learn something new. So I started learning Android, made an Android app, and that Android app got me my Facebook interview. Although I think even if I didn't do that Android app and just had my internship and my C++ project, I think that would have been enough. So you don't need to have a lot of side projects. All you need is just one good side project that shows that you're able to make something complex and something non-trivial. So I'm telling you how to get a side project, but what is even out there? And at first you might feel overwhelmed and confused because everything seems hard. But first I'll start out with the options. So to list the options, you can work on an Android or iOS app. You can work on a desktop application for Mac OS or Windows. You can make a Chrome extension. You can make some web applications with Python, Django, Ruby on Rails, or Node.js. There are a lot of platforms available for you to turn your ideas into reality. I can tell you it's an amazing feeling when you just have an idea on paper and you're planning it out, and then slowly you see that it's growing into the actual thing. And there will be a lot of challenges along the way, but you just keep figuring out how to solve these problems until you get to where you want. But yeah, it is definitely overwhelming at first, but you just need to remember that you just need to start. The idea doesn't have to be particularly big or life-changing. With all these platforms available, it's more important to just think of an idea and see what platform is best for your idea. Obviously, an idea like Snapchat wouldn't work on a desktop application or as a website, or could it? You can also just go with what's most available to you at the time. The reason I chose C++ was because it was the only thing I knew at the time. I then Googled C++ GUI and found Qt. And then the reason why I chose Android was because at the time I had a flip phone and an HP computer, and so I couldn't program for the iPhone because you have to have the Mac. And my friend already sent me an Android tutorial and told me I could download a free emulator called Genymotion. So I already had all the resources I needed to make this Android app. So for you, just think of something that you've always wanted to make. Take some time to think about what could be interesting for you to work on, and you can even think of an app that already exists and just try to recreate and improve it. This might actually be a good idea. I haven't done it, but I think that if you just go to the job fair and say, oh hey, I try to remake YouTube because I'm really into YouTube, or I'm an avid user of Snapchat, so in order to learn how they work, I could just recreate it and learn a lot in the process. And I think that might be something I might do in the future, and this is something that you should do. I'm pretty sure you're going to learn so much from the process of just copying another app. If you absolutely can't think of any ideas, or you're too intimidated to start something from scratch, you can also work on open source projects. And actually open source projects are, I guess, the most ideal way to see what it's like to actually work on a big project with other co-contributors and using source control programs like Git. So how do you start? Well, the best way to start on a side project is actually to not do it alone. Find mentors that can ramp you up, or friends that you can work together with, grow with, and push each other with. You can offer each other new perspectives and new ideas, and brainstorming and working with other people is a lot more fun than just doing it yourself. Show them these videos and get them excited about getting that big internship, and go make something you guys can have fun with and be proud of. Go to hackathons. These are marathons of coding, usually lasting a whole weekend. It is like the perfect environment to make something from scratch, to prototype. Teams are bused to venues, usually colleges like UCSD, Berkeley, UCLA, UC Irvine, UC Riverside, and for free. And then there's a lot of free food and free swag. Lots of companies go there to sponsor and to mentor. Yeah, and it's just the best environment to prototype a new app. There's an abundance of Red Bull and the nectar of gods. The nectar of the gods, Soylent, everywhere, and everyone around you is there for the same purpose, to create something awesome. If you get stuck, there are a lot of volunteer mentors that could help you out, and workshops that sponsors hold. There are like Android workshops, iOS workshops, web dev workshops, yoga workshops, Smash workshops. Or no, you can just play Smash. There are a lot of people that play Melee. Yoga, hikes. So these hackathons aren't just there for educational purposes, they're also there so that we can have fun and be in a comfortable environment to code. So why school doesn't matter? After all this, you might be wondering why I haven't mentioned coursework yet. School is very important, and we all go to school, right? But this is just my opinion. After taking intro to computer science, basic and advanced data structures, algorithms, I felt like I had all the knowledge I needed to get the job and perform well on the job. After my basic data structures class, I already had all the C++ knowledge, and I was able to make my C++ project and do well on my first internship. So obviously, if you're trying to get into specific areas of computer science like big data, AI, graphics, operating systems, then you should take those classes. But for the vast majority of internships and software engineering positions out there, just these basic classes is all you need in order to perform well on the job. And actually, most jobs, you'll do most of the learning on the job too. In addition, if you only do coursework, how does that separate you from all the other students at the job fair? At the minimum, they're all taking the same classes that you are. If you do not stand out, then recruiters have no reason to interview you. I know that is a bit harsh for me to say, but that is just how it is. But on the bright side, it means that you don't have to try super hard in school and you can still get that really good internship. Having good side projects outweigh a shitty GPA by a lot. I'm not saying that you should be this extreme, but one of my friends has a 2.5 and got an internship with Facebook. Hearing this information also lets you know what is really important. So don't stress yourself over what doesn't matter. Hopefully by now you have some idea of what makes a programmer valuable. In the next video, I will tell you where you can find recruiters, my personal tricks to standing out at the job fair, although I already gave some, and some resume tips. I know this is a lot of information and you might feel lost or overwhelmed right now. Don't. Maybe watch the video again, play it at 0.5 speed. But yeah, don't worry, in the final 2 videos, I'm going to go over the right mentality and how to actually come up with an actionable plan. Because I feel like the information is out there, but you have to know how to use that information. And at the very beginning, I already kind of knew, okay, I just have to do side projects. And if you talk to anyone, like anyone who's interned at these companies, they'll tell you, oh, do side projects. That's how you do side projects or do internships. That's how you stand out, right? So that in itself is common knowledge. Maybe they can break it down to, you can do mobile. These are options. You can do like mobile, desktop, web. Maybe you can work on some hardware stuff, Raspberry Pis. But so you know what you have to do, but how do you do it? And all of us are busy people with our busy lives. How do you fit this computer science stuff into your schedule in order for you to be able to get that internship later on? Yeah, so stay tuned. I'm working on these videos. So yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm working my... What do I want to say? So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll be able to give you an idea of what you have to do and what you should do if you want that big internship. And if you have any suggestions or questions, leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to them. Making these videos is kind of exciting and fun, but I still don't know what I'm doing yet. So yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or if you want me to elaborate on anything, if you want to see more videos on certain topics, or just something you might want me to include in the FAQ, yeah, leave a comment and I'll get back to it. Thanks. Also, let me know if you like this style more, rather than me always looking into the camera and talking like this. Before jumping into how to get the interview and how to pass the interview, the world responds to value. Okay, that's so good. Oh, I didn't even record. My first internship at my C++ project was enough to give me, I already read that. Okay. I had all the I felt like I had so the best way to start so how do you start? So I had all the resources. So I already had all the resources I needed. So I already had all the resources I needed to make this Android app. So I already had all the resources.